ripping this off straight from 24 Dancehall's Instagram page. Big up on yourself. All right, this is where we acknowledge that we're stealing something from you, a topic from you. But big up 24 Dancehall on this topic. I saw it.
By the way, they do good work still.
We wig them up all the time.
Yeah,
they do very good work.
I think it was them that they did, like, if you like Valiant, you like this person. And I thought that was just so clever.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
Really good work. Yeah.
All right, so I see that they posted. What do you think causes dancehall artists to fall off?
Fall off?
Just want to pass that round the room.
What do you mean fall off?
Like,
They're
in
not
the
as
eyes
hot
of the
as
people,
anymore.
not as hot. They're not as popular. They weren't as
The quality of songs aren't the same.
well. That could be a reason. But yes, they're not as seen as they once were in the public eye due to several reasons. So
Like from before.
Yeah.
And now, like, explain, like, you tell me, like Sean Paul.
no, I could never be talking about Sean Paul with that. I don't know why I bring up that name, Johnny brother.
No. I'm talking about the different kind of context of the music.
All right, so like them hot one year and then the next year you don't really see nothing from them again, or
Within
you don't
the
really see
same
people
year.
respond to them the same way. Things like that.
I don't know. Must be, I don't know, probably materials. Probably things they have to write about. I don't know. Because sometimes they hit one year and they're off the following year.
But what in your estimation you think would cause that? Is it the people, or is it them fall off, say like the consistency of them song making, or
Could be a lot of things. Could be mental block. They're probably not focused. And once they get back on focus, they're back on it on top again. But some of them could be mental blocks. Because you got some artists, even in Trinidad, it's like that. Hit one year, off next year.
and you said due to like mental blocks?
Yeah. Because it's all about what you think. That's why a lot of artists sing what they see, what they saw, like reality.
But Ari, what do you think? You're in deep thought. There's some reasons you think that an artist may fall off.
You know, I don't consider the artist falling off. I think I've had a conversation with you. I've had a conversation with several people that the average artist lifespan, their average lifespan is 7 years. I put 7 years, and that's like conservatively.
That's generous in some respects.
Generous because, and that's why I put the average artist, because you have some people who are above average who obviously exceed that lifespan. Beyonce, Drake, Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, Bob Marley. You know, we know
The
them,
legends.
the legends. They're not the average artists. You know, you know, you mentioned Sean Paul name bring up. So yeah, they're not the average artists, but the artists who probably out of nowhere it feel like them get the bus. So like them probably did a bubble like for 2 years, like you know of them, you know the song and whatever, and then they get that hit.
Right.
And then they're big in the space, and that lasts like a 2-3 years if them lucky. So with not just a song or album that they have, but you know, people interest in them and whatever. And then like after that, where if them can't follow up on it, them just kind of hinge on the hit song or album that they have following that.
Yeah.
So you know, most people like the sophomore curse, them call it too. Like if an album, if they do one good album, their first album usually
The
great.
debut album.
The debut album, thank you. I don't know, I blanked on the word. The debut album is usually great, but then there's like a higher expectation for the sophomore album, and you know, it usually flop or it can't produce the next album, things like that. So I wouldn't even say it fall off. I just think the average artist average lifespan is like 7 years, and again, that's being generous. And you can't really say, because we talk about Ski Mask last week and say like
You mean the biggest artist in Jamaica currently?
like we talk about the genius of him, and you know how him pretty much like is satirizing the culture that we're in right now, and because of him satirizing the culture, he's able to do a finer song, a good one at that too, and able to captivate the people's attention. Now I don't know if he's going to do this long term. I don't know, that's up to him and I guess the people to decide. But again, I give them 6 years and 7 years, and again, that's just being generous. And we can talk about that, like not producing the same quality of songs. Like you're probably just doing the same thing over and over. Like like sometimes it's not even about the music anymore. It's now become to you as a person, and your personality probably isn't that great for people to want to invest in anymore. Like, oh, you're a shit person, and like, whatever, I don't really care. So there's several things that go into it, but I personally wouldn't even call it fall off. I just think the average lifespan of an artist is 7 years, and again, that's just being generous.
So what says you?
But they don't ask Aria a question, like how she said 7 years, like suppose them start fade out before the 7.
That's why I said average. The average artist average lifespan is 7 years. So sometimes it's like 5 years, like when them hit quickly and then them fade off of that, like, and it's like probably like 2 years max. Yeah, so it's just average. Like, unless you may say average, like just have the average talent, average skills, and average image, brand, and public perception. Just average, like just. Not great, not below great, just average. if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. And then I guess other questions could arise out of that too, but we need other people, I guess, for have conversations.
But like what?
Like so if I want to be an artist and I hear somebody like you say, so the average lifespan or whatever for an artist is 7 years. I say, yo, Jano, some really I got just in the industry for 7 years, but suppose me want to be like a Sean Paul or a Shaggy, or how do I get to that level?
Well, then that would come down to your hard work, your ethics, you having good people around you that can help manage you and bring it to the next level.
Yeah,
you're not in your own way. Links. You're not in your own way. Like there's several things that, and that's why I said average. So an average artist who's just relying on probably them average skill set, but not working on improving that skill set.
That a lot of these young youth have. No offense.
So that's why I said, and that's why the key word is average. Because a lot, especially in Jamaica, there are a lot of artists. There are a lot of people who want to be artists, and they just think, say, well, I have the skills and I can do it, but when them really come into the business, and I'm one person like that too, I'm not an artist, but doing this for almost 10 years, I see there is a different level of just having the basic skills of DJing to be an artist, or playing an instrument or whatever, to be a successful artist. There's so much to it, and we've seen where, again, we talked about this last week, we see where talented people who we think that should be over the hill, like they just can't find the breakthrough for whatever reasons. Like it's just this X factor that maybe some people have or don't have.
Yeah.
But again, average artist, and we're talking about you being a star, not even like just doing, because a lot of people do it for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And to me, I think personally, we talk about the journey and destination kind of people, and I'm very much a destination kind of person, and when it's all about the journey. But in that context, like there are lots of people who do it. They're working at the craft, they love it. They're creative by nature, and it's something that they love, the process of creating and doing it and whatever. So them probably not in it for the hit. They're just working constantly on their craft. And I think, again, that would distinguish somebody becoming a great artist, where it probably take them 10 years before them get the big boss. But when them get the big boss, they're able to sustain that because they're constantly working at their craft. Like Malcolm Gladwell said, it take 10,000 hours to become an overnight success. Simon Cole say it take 10 years to be an overnight success. Like you have to constantly be working at your craft in order to pass that 7 year itch, I guess. Yeah.
Well, some of the points that you brought up actually add to my point that I wanted to raise too is like you say work ethic and discipline. I think it has a lot to do with your attitude. So I remember if when you were younger, I remember hearing this quote that your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your altitude.
Yep.
So for looking at the industry now, that's what I'm thinking. Like it's your attitude. Certain artists, even something that might be as simple, but it's not simple to me, an interview. You schedule an interview for let's say 5 o'clock.
Talk about it, Chaps.
You should be on time or early for your interview, or communicate and say, you know, let us know what's happening. You're running late.
Talk about it.
I'm running late. I can't show up again. Like, just communicate. Let us know what's happening, or whoever else you have to go to do an interview with. But just the attitude, just showing that you want to be there. I'm hungry for this. I want to work. I want to be a star, like for longer than 7 years. I want to be known. I want people to remember my name. And you have to do things like
Those
this.
things speaks to professionalism, which goes a long way into making someone's career
Right.
lasting long and having longevity. Continue job. Sorry, I just started to interject there. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I was okay.
Yeah, exactly. So when you see things like this, like, oh, you feel like you have a one song with bad and you get this different attitude now, like, man a star, man have to do an interview, man have to do a show, man have to reach on time, man have to early car, whatever, then you see it play out. Like, as people are saying, you fade out because you don't have the right attitude, the right mindset. So.
You know, we've heard of stories where artists take promoter deposit and don't show up. They don't show up to the show at all. So them just, and it's a thing that they do, they just take the deposit. So them don't need the full money, or I don't know if they want the full money, but they take the deposit
is enough.
They don't show, but the artist, it's non-refundable. So like once the promoter already deposit them,
they can't get it back.
They can't get it back, but they
based
don't
on
show.
the contract.
And I'm just like, God damn. Like,
All them
what
something
the
there.
hell?
This podcast episode is brought to you by SelfCare Friday. And I want to make special, SelfCare Friday is back. And I want to make special mention of their turmeric products, good for dark spots and hyperpigmentation, and also their feminine care products that are pH balance, eliminates unpleasant odor, itching, etc. Most importantly, their herpes products that can be used to lessen the occurrence of outbreaks.
By the way, you know that 1 in 3 persons have herpes. This is a fact in America, though. I'm not sure about the statistics here in Jamaica, but that's a lot of people.
Well, thanks for that little tidbit of information, Ariane. If you want to get rid of the herpes,
you can't get rid of herpes. It's a lifelong thing.
if you want to get rid of the herpes,
you cannot get rid of herpes. You have to
Alright.
use the other line.
SelfCare Friday's products are antiviral and should be a staple in every home a female dwells. Herpes are not all. Them have everything from lip balm, shower gels, steam, bar soap, yoni scrub, yoni balm, yoni mask, the works. And we have good news. Antiviral products are now also available at Sydenham Pharmacy in Spanish Town. So what are you waiting for? Choose wellness out and within. Choose SelfCare Friday, and let's make every day Friday. Don't forget, you can use the code FIX15 to get 15% off all your purchases. That's the code FIX15 to get 15% off all purchases. Follow them on Instagram and TikTok at SelfCare Friday, and visit their website at selfcarefriday.com. To me, it's a myriad of reasons that all three of you have touched upon. And one of them that I don't hear mentioned is luck.
Look.
Before I go into that though, I just want
Fuck you, Nara.
what?
No, because me and Dara always talk about
Yeah. But luck it plays a part of it. But
True,
before I go
which
into
is the
that
X
point,
factor that I spoke about.
it's a part of it. Before I go into that, I just wanted to give an anecdotal story about an artist who bust out of nowhere. Right? Around last year or a year before that time. Then my brother the range to make people start guess. But I'm not gonna say, oh, you bust a big, and I have a song and I do roll and it's viral. we schedule interview with artists for a certain time.
Yeah.
I believe it was on the radio when we were on the radio. Artists forward 15 minutes to when the show is to finish. When we told artists to arrive
At X
at
time.
X time, which was the time when the radio show starts. When artist arrives, artist takes sweet time. We call Marge and say, what go on? Artist a fix up him shoes and him ear. I'm like, brother, I'm late. I said, I don't know if I tell a brother I'm fix up your shoes and them thing. So them little thing there too, which we've experienced more than one time.
Yeah.
This is one of the artists that is now perceived to have fallen off, by the way, by the people. Let me go into the luck point now. Because even some of them artists there.
We're trying to figure out that. Oh,
Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, I use some of them.
Oh, you remember? Okay. You never, okay.
I'm like, who the fuck?
Yeah, and we were like, brother, like, really? Really? You fall late and you make yourself even later while you're there? Yeah. Anyways, luck plays a big part in it because some of them actually get lucky with the song.
True.
Some of them, they have no real designs to be an actual musical artist. Them just lock up and find a song that the people them that connect with the people.
Right.
And then now as time goes on, that's where the cream rise to the top. And you start see who is the actual artist. I see it separate from the pack. All go on. So luck has a whole heap of things to do with the perception of one reaching a certain height and then falling off from that height. So they're just lucky. And them don't know how to parlay that luck into an actual successful career. Musical career.
Fair.
We just mentioned perception. This is where the finger is pointed towards the people now because a lot of it is perception as well.
True.
I remember Tommy Chin saying on the podcast, when I think it was the last time she was on the podcast, that sometimes the artist goes through valleys. And in the perception and the minds of the people, them see that as a fall off. When in actuality it's a little valley that they're going through.
True.
I know every artist can sustain that peak.
Yeah.
Almost all of the artists that you've seen, that you've liked, that you listen to, they've never been able to sustain a peak.
And not
Them
even
always
just
have them hills
musically,
and valleys. Personally, of course, you don't know what they're going through.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know. Just bring up that point because several other artists have several personal things that the general public does not know about. And you see that somewhat play out in them career where you see them at one point and then, see them have that certain consistency that they used to have.
Because they might fight something personally.
I just mentioned consistency. You see how I tie all of these things together? I just mentioned consistency. Some of it is burnout. Some of it because we live in this fast-paced business. Because they're trying so hard to keep up, them burn out themselves. Them don't realize that you cannot necessarily operate at the pace of a Vibes Cartel. You cannot necessarily operate at the pace of a Chronic Law. But because the industry, it kind of fosters this sort of, I need to release something now to keep the minds and the attention of the people. It almost forces them to try compete for
and then
people's you get diminishing return because on every song I'll come out like the bad song where it have what it hit and connect. So it's almost inevitable that you're going to get diminishing returns.
True.
Because release songs and you now put the necessary effort that it is that you would need to create a hit song. That's why I say some of them when them complain about some of the songs them that them put out and the people them don't respond to, I sometimes question how much effort it actually put into that song. Marketing the song, promoting the song, putting your best efforts in the song.
Right.
And all these things.
Because
right?
hey, sometimes I say, wanna just do this for do this sake.
And that's an extreme too. Some of them I'm kind of touch upon it earlier. So them not really do it for the love of it.
Yeah.
Them not really do it for the love of it. Them do it because them get the bitches and the national syndrome. I've talked about this, spoken about this many times. National syndrome, them feeling rich. So at a certain point, the effort drop off the quote unquote interest drop off because them feel like they're rich now and them don't feel like them need for push themselves. They don't no longer have that hunger, that passion that they have when they first enter, because certain things that them never have before, them start have now. Not realizing, say, yo, you have to do and keep things at a certain level to maintain.
Exactly.
Because all of them things that you never have and you have now, it can quickly go away.
Right.
Just as quick as you get it. If you don't do enough to maintain. That enough of them artists they fail to understand when they fall in other thing, because they never have it before. Who are you to tell them, say, yo, brother, do this? Fuck you.
Because I'm determining success differently.
Yes.
So what we probably say, oh, you know, you could do that. You could actually go to F. And they're like, bro, I'm good with C.
Yeah, me have girl, me have market.
Yeah, like I'm good with C.
Liquor.
Like C is success, and like no.
Get us something more than I back in the market.
Yeah, like no.
This is the life.
And like and
Anatina.
Jobs. I didn't this.
you know, I want to clarify though the 7-year thing, because probably people think that, you know, because and well, artists, and that's why I think I made it clear, but I don't know if I think I said it, but I don't know if I made it clear. Sorry, but you know, artists, being an artist is actually a difficult thing.
It is.
It is.
Like
yes.
the creativity that it takes in order for you to come up with this whole brand perception, this brand, you know, and this thing and whatever is like it takes a lot out of you,
especially in the social media era.
Exactly.
Not
you're right.
But in the social media era where it's almost like them living under a microscope, where everything them feel like them do is they feel like it's under a microscope, where people are see every nook and cranny of them life, or they feel like they need to open up every nook and cranny of their lives to the people in order to gain acceptance. And
you brought up something too about and that's why I say like 7 years is just like the people's attention in you, and you probably build up your niche audience too, where they're fine, like them love you for who you are and whatever, and you know, but then there's just there's a constant flow of artists. I think dancehall music
oversaturation as well is
like a
one
dancehall artist pop up every day. It's fucking whack-a-mole. Like you listen to this, you know this, and I'm like, who? Wait, I'm just on this person. Wait, we are top boy. And like they're like it's constant, like a constant feed to, and even us as consumer, we get overwhelmed to. Like we're like, wait, what's happening? And then you're forced in different directions. Like you become overstimulated, and sometimes you probably just tap out. You're like, fuck it, I don't care. Or I'm just gonna stick to the ones I know, you know. So it's not even, and you're rightly, and I love what you said too about perception too, because some people probably realize that, well, Jamaica is such a small market, I don't need to have the attention on the audience here anymore. Well, not anymore, but the world is bigger, so let me go overseas and, you know, focus there. But you're not catering to the audience here, so people are gonna think that, oh, I'm not hot again, when no, in reality you're just bigger in another market. And to bring it up, Maka Diamond, she said she's a queen of dancehall, but not in Jamaica, and that's totally fucking right. Like I've seen where she's gone to Costa Rica, clips and videos, like she's actually well revered there, but in Jamaica, you know, she doesn't get the same love and respect as she should. And that's it. Like it's just really perception. It really
find
is
what
perception.
works for you.
Your core fans will never think you fall off, but your rivals fans think you're done. You know, and you know, some people like us pundits, we ponder and we're like, this person, all right, whatever. Like, I mean, personally, I don't care either freaking way. Like,
they know by now.
Yeah, like, you know, it's all a blur to me, the whole owner. And some songs like peek through and get my attention and whatever, but you know, I wouldn't even consider, and as I said, I wouldn't even personally consider it falling off. It's just the lifespan of it. And you rightly bring up, Nara, it's just burnout. It's a lot. It takes a lot out of you.
One song kill the next song.
Exactly. And the market is just like, oh, you have to do this, and then another person will come up, another song you have to. It's just a constant thing. Like it's
some of them, as the basics. I'm sure some of the commenters will point out. flow repetitive, you know, lot creativity. As I say, some of the time I just luck and then I try recreate the formula that worked the first time, but lightning no strike twice in one place. So
you notice them said the same thing twice. Like they said the same thing on a slightly different beat.
Essentially, the same type of topics.
Them probably
some of them are try to get a slang over, so that will happen as well. But yeah, some of that are some as well. So some are just good naturally, really not good.
Basically, yeah.
So
I tell them I listen to one song and I say, yo, that person just sound like them a talk. Like it don't sound like a singer, DJ. That is so.
It's all like Arnold Schwarzenegger in my screen. I'll get down. Get to the lava. Come on, do it now.
I'm gonna say, how people listen, like, I can't put in my earphone and listen to this.
Oh, God.
It's crazy.
Like Johnny Bravo with the shades. Put some respect on my name. I don't do this for fame. I don't do this for like. I just do it cause niggas ain't do it then right. Yeah, the 6 know my name. Gotta catch me a flight. I didn't come up overnight. Been in the heat, overripe. Put the gold on my teeth with no overbite. These niggas is fake.
Come true, say me put you in a love mood, let me show you know enough too. Love too, if your man I get it confused. Wrong move, them want you pass through anywhere me there.
All my guys crank up, you wouldn't know I apple juice, my habit, I'm a cup. Energize a bunny, it will double up enough. When I go lay down till Sunday night come. It's the weekend though, we're up, we're not sleeping, no. It's the weekend though.
It's about the herb in a child. Special delivery from the farm. If you really want to find me, yeah, got to check me on the skyway, yeah. See the style of them and the line of them. Yeah, human beings, I'm tired of them. Just one bagger, energy drain of them. I itch up for glory, now begging a favor. Them I use my style, I try take my flavor. Last a trait, I tell dirty nigga boyfriend.